Hi everybody, it's Lindsay. This is my first time making a video about any of my creations, so you'll have to forgive my amateurness. I am going to be sharing what I like to call my girls. I haven't really come up with any other name for them. And I'm doing a voiceover also, so you'll have to forgive me if I am untimed with some of my comments. But I recently got a request to do a tutorial for one of my mermaids, so I was going to try to oblige and not necessarily do a tutorial, but definitely a kind of walkthrough. And here I am showing some of the mermaids that I've done and the size comparison. Here I'm showing how teeny tiny this one is. She's really little. That's my most recent one. She'll be turned into a pendant, and I just made her the other night. And the ones on the other sides of her are my typical size that I like to make. And here I am showing that I like to make human characters as well, with legs and a full body. And these two are sisters, little macaron girls. One's leaning on hers and one is sitting on hers. And my pile got messy because I'm so prepared for this. And here's one more candy girl that people say reminds them of Katy Perry. I'm assuming it's because of the hair and the whole candy theme. And the red bra, minus the cupcakes. She's cute though. Oops. Get it together, Lindsay. And then one more style that I've done is not quite a human character, but she's kind of a fairy. Human body, but no wings. Her dress kind of is draped to represent wings, but she's supposed to be very small on a little twig. And I've made some crystals out of opal clay. They are not real. So it's always fun to make all the details out of clay as much as I can. And I will see you all in the next clip. So I'm going to start off with the tail because I like to. I like to base my look of my characters off the tail. Well, my mermaids anyways, which is what I'm going to make. So through the magic of this cooking show, I started off with a ball of half Fimo mint and half translucent. I did that for a couple reasons. One is to stretch the color. Two, it makes it a lot more moldable. It's cold in my studio, and this clay has also been sitting for a while, and it was hard. So translucent helps me personally, I don't know about anyone else, make older clays workable again. And I couldn't do this before when it was just the mint by itself. So I started out with a ball about this size, and then I got to about an elongated cone to there, and then I made it a little bit longer because we're gonna make a mermaid tail. You want the top to be a little thicker because this is going to be her little booty. We want her to have a butt. And let's see. Right where the tail bends, this is going to have a little notch in it, and it will be thinner here. And then it will, of course, taper down skinnier again to what would be a would-be ankle, if you will. So I'm just going to kind of put her over here for reference. If you can't see her that well, sorry. But this isn't going to be necessarily a tutorial. It's more like a walkthrough. I don't think I deserve the title of tutorial. I just like clay. I don't think I'm amazing at it, but since someone asked me, then I'll do my best. So I'm going to have her tail bend. I'm just using my pinky to make that would be like the back of your knee, like when we bend. See, it kind of already looks like a leg. Sexy little leg with a calf. And I'm just probably going to leave it like that. Well, shape-wise. I am going to bend it back at some point because I like my figures to fit on cameo shapes and whatnot. So I think I'm going to try one laying down for the first time, like on her tummy. And so I'm going to pinch this right like that, and then kind of at some point that'll end up like this. Now for the little booty part. Oh, I'm really close to the camera and my nails look awful. Should have painted them, didn't. Oh well, here we go. This part is hard. I don't like doing it, but you just kind of have to pinch like this. So now it almost looks like a little flat piece here. And then you've got this like little, what do you want to call this? Like a little lip. And then we're going to bend that forward. Actually, I pinched it a little too much. I got carried away. I got excited. And as you pinch, you want to bend her little booty up like this. And now we've kind of created a, I don't know what you want to call it, like a waist of some sorts. A waistline, and then there's her little tush, and yes. Although I probably shouldn't have done that direction if she's gonna lay on her tummy. So now I've officially messed that up. Let's see if I can bend it back the other way. Nope, I'm not going to. We're gonna leave her just like this. Just like that. And then of course, because I'm wearing a sweater that is not good for crafting today, I'm shedding. So let's take care of the dust with alcohol. And there we go. I'm sure I'll be doing that a lot more throughout this process. So there's our tail base. And then I also like to make this super flat right there, because when I add her body, I'm going to want it to match up real flush with that. Now I have no inspiration for this mermaid yet, so it'll just kind of come to me as I'm working. But I think I'll keep it simple and not do any Skinner blends or anything like that. Which I did do on this gal. I did a Skinner blend for her tail and for her fins and her little skirt parts and stuff like that. But for this, I will try to keep it, what's the word I want? I guess monochromatic clay-wise, and then I can embellish with, let's see, what can we embellish with tonight at, let's see what time it is, 11:30 p.m. where I am in California. We'll embellish with PearlEx powders. That'll make it nice and easy. So for the tail, I'm going to run the rest of this clay, which is the same mixture, through my pasta machine, which is an Amico brand, by the way. It's not anything fancy. And I have a little schniv of something in there that does not belong, and that's okay, because it won't show in the long run. My tail fins vary in styles between this and, let's see what else I have. Well, nothing quite near me, but they're pretty much all like this. And what I like to do is, where's my X-acto? Oh, it's X-acto in front of my face. Alright, I'll try to do this as best as I can so y'all can see me. Here we go, I'll tilt this up. This is kind of freeform as long as they're, you know, mostly symmetrical. Just have a straight line across the top, and don't do it like I'm doing with, you know, one hand. There we go. So have a straight line across the top, and you can do this as big or as small as you want to. I like to do them, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put this down before I hurt myself. I just make two shapes that are kind of this, roughly the same size. And they're going to get twisted in different ways, so don't worry if they're not, you know, super exactly the same. And besides, when's the last time you met a mermaid and her tail fins were exactly the same? Come on. So here's the next part, which is pretty easy. I like to take a toothpick, or you can also use a large needle tool, or you can skip this step altogether. But I like to do this step. We're gonna do the details right here, the little fin lines, and just drag. And when you get to the end on this side, you can push down a little more. Also, when you add translucent to clay, it increases the flexibility after you bake. Because these pieces will be thin like this, it has a little give to it, and that is because of the translucent. So that helps in any color that you add it to. Come here, fuzzball. You can make these lines as wide or as thin together as you want. Depending how you position your tail fin, some of them will not show, but the ones on the end will, so those are what are important. Okay, and I don't like this side, so I'm going to cut a little off. Okay, and I'm going to take my big blade like this and peel these guys off of here. This is the part that you might find a little daunting, but you do get the hang of it. So if you want to make your first tail fin, you can hold it this way, you can hold it the other way. I'm going to hold it this way. No, I'm not. I never do it that way. Forgive me. So if you've made ruffles in a dress before out of clay, this is kind of the same thing. It just depends where you want the ripple to be. So I like to touch it here and then let it do one fold and then do that again. And if you don't like the way that it looks, don't pinch it too hard and you can undo it and redo it. And then you can pull this out a little. And then you can also take a toothpick and redefine your like that. So there's one, not too bad. I'm also doing this like with one eye on what I'm doing and one eye on my phone. This is all new for me. Now I'm going to do it again on this side. Okay, that one went a little easier. If you don't like how the ends look, you can fix and refix. And I'll probably end up putting this one underneath because I'm not liking what's happening on this edge over here. I like polymer clay because it's a very forgiving medium as far as going back and changing and covering things up. And a lot of times with things like paint, you know, once it's down and you're not getting things back up. So there's my 2 tail fins. Now we're going to do some surgery here and get a couple tools. I'm going to use probably a ball tool and a silicone shaper tool, and probably my X-acto for this next part. If you get too much clay right here, oh, it's chilly out here, you can cut off some on the side that's going to attach to the tail base. I'm going to move this out of the way. Kind of use my nail as a little brace here and blend this in. Okay. That's going to get blended more. Fear not. And then this was the one that I wasn't too fond of, so I'm going to place that kind of like that. Turn this guy around. Well, I'm going to blend it on first, and then I'm going to reposition my fins here. Oops. Clay bits everywhere. Now I need a Q-tip and alcohol. There we go. So many dust bunnies. So much will get covered up too with PearlEx powders and everything else. So let's kind of get that on there a little. Whatever you like to blend with, blend with. And then, like I said, since I didn't really care for the bottom part of the top fin, I'm just gonna cover it up a little bit with the other one. Oops, you can't see what I'm doing. Hello. I just covered up the bottom part of this top fin right here because I didn't really care for what it was doing. Where's my fancy toothpick? I realize that some of where this joins the base of the tail is not super pretty. That is where I like to introduce glitter and bling and micro beads and all kinds of fancy schmancy decorations. Or you can just keep working at it till it's something that you like. I've never seen a real mermaid. I mean, today, that is. Mermaids are totally real. So that I know exactly what it looks like on this part of their anatomy. In the flesh, in the tail flesh. But, yes, it does get a little tricky down there. And sometimes it blends on better certain days than others. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And there's our mermaid tail. I like to take it one step further, well, a few steps further on my tails and add one more fin. There's a couple places I like to add fins, extra fins. For example, these two right here. And then sometimes I'll put one up here by itself, one off the hip, although this one is a skirt. Just depends how you're feeling. But I think I'm just going to do a small one off this bottom part here. And this is my rolled out clay from before. And you'll do a miniature version of what we did for the tail fin. Okay. Take your toothpick and do the same thing. Pressing a little more down when you get to the end here. Alrighty. Peel that guy up. This one's trickier, of course, because it's smaller. So you don't have to get so many ripples in it, but if you can just get a little pinch on the end there like that. Just enough. And we'll take that and kind of pinch that flat. I like to have mine facing back. My stupid nail just nicked my clay. And that's how we erase that. Okay. Now I think that there's a little too much clay here for blending, so I'm going to just kind of do that. And so like I said, you can stick it on her hip, here, here. I don't think there's any one way to build a mermaid. Or was it any one way to skin a cat? It was one of those. And so I don't get my finger in the way, I'm going to put my silicone tool here to brace what I'm doing, and I've put another dent in my tail. This is hard. No wonder you guys asked me for a tutorial. All these little bits. I'm trying to not block the camera. All that good stuff. Okay. And she's down. She's down enough. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of that dent. Do the magic of alcohol. I'd like to be experiencing the other magic of alcohol at the moment. But then who knows what kind of creature I would sculpt. Alright. Just play with that till you get it how you want it. I'm leaving it. So there is how I make my mermaid tails. I will keep going because it was asked of me. You're welcome. All right. let's see what we got here. I'm going to use probably some chalk pigments. These are very old for stamping purposes. Any chalk pastels will do. And I'm also going to be using some PearlEx pigments. This is my newest one that I just got. It is not in any part of the series kits, and it is called, where's the color? Oh, Interference Green. If you have Interference Violet, it's kind of the same jam, but green instead of violet. And so I think I'm going to dip into that and some green chalk for depth. So shall we? Yes, we shall. Let's do it. This is probably my favorite part. Normally I would do this after I've attached a body, but I think I just might make a separate whole video for the body and upload this first for those who just want to know how to do tails. I see some people these days making pendants that look just like this with the bail at the top. So I think I'll make this a standalone video, and then I'll make the next one adding the body as like a part 2. So for her tail, I'm taking a tiny little detail brush. You don't want it to be too stiff so that you start messing up your detail here. And I think I'm just going to dip into like these greens right here. So you'll just be surprised, all right? I'm going to use the darkest one. It's kind of got a teal bluish green hint to it. And I think I already don't like this brush. I think it's going to be too stiff for what I'm doing, but yeah, let's swap that out for something softer. Yeah, see how this is nice and fluffy, and then this one's like, I don't want to move, so we're gonna switch. There's a little tip from me. I don't know if anybody else has discovered this one. If you put chalk pastels on your clay and then you go do something else, like, I don't know, watch some YouTube videos, go pet your dog or your cat, or do anything for just a little bit, the chalk will soak into your clay and actually get more of a airbrushy look, so to speak. And the reason for that is that if you're not aware, polymer clay, the word polymer, is because polymer clay is a plastic, and there are oils in your clay, and that's what makes it pliable, moldable, whatever you want to call it. There are oils in it that keep it from hardening and keep it just, you know, so you can go back to it whenever you want. I can't speak anymore. But those oils draw the clay, or draw the chalk into the clay. And you just kind of get this neat little effect later on after you've had it sit for a while. It looks a little more soft. It's good for if you like to put blushy cheeks on your kawaii figures, or what else? Human faces, anything like that. I should probably just shut up because my mouth and my brain are not working together anymore. I'm just chalking right now, just, you know, to get dimension and depth in the cracks and creases and stuff like that. If I go silent, it's because it's probably safer. So that's what I'm going to do as far as chalk goes. Let's put that away. Now let's do something fun with this PearlEx because I can't wait, to be honest. Some people take it directly from the lid. That's what I like to do so that I don't get too much going on. Let's zoom in for this business. Yes! That is what I'm talking about. And because this is interference green, it's bringing out all the green hues in the pigment, and the clay behind it is also helping that. I'm not mad about it. Are you? I think it's beautiful. Oh, yes. Yes, honey. Okay. One more little swipe and then we're done here. Just to highlight her hip and that she's a mermaid and that her skin is pretty and shiny. Little here. Oh, what the heck. Go nuts, right? Glitter is my favorite color, you guys. Okay. I think that that's going to wrap it up for this. I hope you enjoyed all my babbling, my psycho babbling about how to make a mermaid tail. My first video ever. Thank you for watching. And I will try to get to work on part 2. And then when I'm done with that, I'll probably be adding some more fun things on this tail, such as micro beads, glitter, and all that fun stuff. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Lindsay again, and my username on most things is either Disney Linz, or if you follow my company, I am craniums.com. Thank you.